buddy. How are you?
Hey.
I,
I was dancing. How are you?
I'm okay. It's Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. You know what that means?
It's for exposure.
This is weird.
What is
this? There we go.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just like, wait a minute. Something looks a little off today.
Yeah, we just got to add the overlay. Where's the overlay? What is going on?
We're having ourselves a morning.
There's the overlay. Boom. There we go.
Boom goes the dynamite. So what's up, Blair? What's new? What's exciting?
This is the first show of 2024.
This is our new year. New us, same us. We're still technically incapable of pulling this off without a hitch.
We still have issues every time.
At some point, the bosses that be might be like, listen, you guys need somebody to do this for you. So,
do you guys need your handheld?
Yeah, do we need to show up every morning and on the weekends and figure this out? I don't know, but who knows? Maybe they'll let it decide. Maybe that's part of our quirky little charm. I don't know.
Maybe that's what they like about us. Two fun-loving, dopey guys.
So how was your New Year's, Blair?
It was uneventful.
I like that.
Fell asleep on the couch watching Hunger Games movies.
Nice.
Yep. And got woken up at midnight to say Happy New Year's, and then it was promptly up to bed.
I didn't even get woken up at midnight to do Happy New Year's. I fell asleep at like 10:30.
Just out.
I had to work New Year's Day, so I had to work at 6 a.m. So I was like, I'll sit this one out. 2024. You'll be there when I wake up.
Yeah. It's going to be there for 365 days. So.
And I know a lot of people were like, oh, you have to work New Year's Day. I had a 3-day weekend for Christmas. So I'll take that trade. I'll take that trade any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2024, brand new year for exposure in the house.
Yes.
It started off strong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the year ended. How do you want to do this? Do we want to talk about last weekend? Do we want to, Laura, Between Two Beards, fantasy football champion himself is in the house. You stop what you were doing and you acknowledge greatness. He didn't pay me to say that.
You acknowledge him.
We bow down to the greatness that is Lawrence Cartier, the football champion of the Between Two Beards Fantasy Football League. He is all that is man.
Yes. He is number one.
If you missed Between Two Beards on Thursday night, it is on this very channel, and he had a very impassioned speech about his win. I didn't even know it was happening. And usually I'm in the know, and usually I'm the one that drops the fun little run-ins and stuff and makes that all work and has fun with JPJ. No, JPJ let him crash the stream, and with the ones he's the one. So anyway,
he's a day one.
He's a day one. He's the day one-ish. He's the reigning, defending, undisputed fantasy football champion of our hearts.
Good job, Lawrence.
Good for him.
We can chat a little bit about last weekend.
Yeah.
You put in some work.
A little bit.
I saw you live tweeting from the For Exposure account,
Yes, that's one of my goals in 2024 is to do more on the social media side of things, especially for our show, For Exposure. Try to boost up those numbers. So I live tweeted the Nick Gage Invitational.
So what were your thoughts on that? Because I wasn't able to catch much, so I'm going to be relying on you.
I had fun with it. It was long. I'll say that. It had 2 intermissions, which kind of took me out of it towards the end. But I understand you have to do all the setup for the final. The final match was Extremo versus John Wayne Murdoch. It felt a little rushed to me.
Yeah,
it felt quick. The main event, but again, you've went through 3 death matches to get to this final death match. I don't expect a 60-minute Iron Man out of it, but it was fun. I actually had a really good time watching it. The matches were fun. We got a really fun scramble out of the day. It was Mr. Danger, Speedball Mike Bailey, Jordan Oliver, Gringo Loco
at the NGI.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like this just I didn't even remember. We didn't talk about it. I don't remember it. So to me, it was a big surprise. And I think I'm missing one more competitor.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I'll have to look it up. I have my notes somewhere. But yeah, it was just like this incredible scramble match in between. And it was a good time. Like I had fun with the show. Our picks did not do well. Both of our picks were out immediately because Cyclope was in a triple threat with Violento, Jack, and
did you say Cole Radrick?
oh, I did not say Ratty Daddy. He was in the scramble.
Okay.
So Cyclope was out in the first round in his triple threat match.
What the hell, Cyclope? Come on.
Broski Jimmy also out first round in his triple threat match. So, like I tweeted out, we love it. We have a lot of fun doing this show. We never said we knew what we were talking about.
No, we just enjoy this.
But like we've talked, I'm not a super huge deathmatch fan, but this was fun. I had a good time. Emerson Jane was fun. We were super intrigued on what she was going to bring to the table. I liked what she did. She lost in her first round as well, but that's okay. So yeah, like I said, I was surprised that they went Extremo winning the thing.
Yeah,
he won the whole thing. John Wayne Murdoch could have went back to back here, which I thought would have been an interesting story because I don't know how many Nick Gage Invitational winners have gone back to back, but it would kind of put him in that upper echelon of just like deathmatch royalty. Not to steal the copyrighted phrase from Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander. I don't want them to come sue our show. Maybe I do. Sue us. I don't know. We're not worth much. It's Spencer's money. Shout out to the ring crew swept up before Speedball had to wrestle. Yes, Lawrence, I was going to say that. So the match right before Speedball had to wrestle was very light tube and glass heavy, like incredibly light tube and glass heavy. And old Speedy, he don't wear no shoes. He'd be out there barefoot. And like he got a lot of love and a lot of trust into that ring crew. They do a good job. Yeah. The only issue, like I said, that I had with the show overall, and it's like me splitting hairs complaint, was it did run long because after each death match, they have to take that time. They have to sweep up that match, set up for the next contraption. So it does take a little longer. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I wasn't doing anything anyway. So it definitely bled over into World's End a lot longer than I had anticipated, but I was already pot committed to the NGI, so I stayed the course.
I'm proud of you. That's a big commitment.
Yeah. Well, admittedly, like, I don't know, the last few months, retail, I work retail, so life gets kind of hectic, kind of busy, and with holidays and yada, yada, yada. So, like, I kind of fell off doing it, but I was like, no, I got to start doing it. So I actually live tweeted Roseland last night till I passed out right around the main event, which I woke up this morning and watched the main event. But yeah, just trying to watch more stuff. But no, NGI was good. I didn't get all the way through Aftermath. I don't know if you did or not.
I got through half of it.
I liked Violento Jack and Speedball. Mike Bailey was fun. That was a good show. I didn't see the Royal. Who won the Do or Die?
I have it here.
Because you made a bold pick for that one, and I wonder if they won because I didn't see I have to go back and watch that. Sorry.
The Do or Die Rumble was won by Mance Warner.
Oh, very interesting.
But I mean, we saw quite a few names in there, and including LPW alumni Tara Zepp.
Yes,
so she was in the Do or Die Rumble.
Dude, we got LPW alums everywhere.
Well, fuck, I know.
We're taking over the world, baby. Love Pro all day. If you don't know about Love Pro Wrestling, there's plenty of time to get on the bandwagon. There's 2 shows this month. We're going to talk about both of them at some point. 2. The Oil Rumble on the 21st and LPW 22 on the 26th. Mm-hmm. The night before the Royal Rumble.
With Aftermath, because I was watching.
Oh.
And I'm watching the Violence is Forever match. Yeah. And I'm watching these guys. And obviously we are the biggest marks for them as it is. But like I could not like get the comparison out of like a modern day Heart Foundation out of my head. Like if you took Brett and Jim and had them as wrestlers in this day and age, I feel like you'd have Violence is Forever.
Oh yeah,
That like because obviously in the time, back
Yeah.
in the 80s and 90s, Heart Foundation, I mean, they wrestled that style. You weren't going to get like Dom Garrini moves very well, for a solid dude. And I imagine like Anvil, if he was coming up nowadays, that's what he would move like. So that was like the thought train running through my head when I was watching that one.
it's not a bad show. No,
Yeah.
we love ourselves some Violence is Forever here. More Violence is Forever.
And
Everywhere.
Leo Rush versus Cole Radrick.
Yes, that was a match I saw that ruled.
I'm watching that, and I had to check to make sure that I wasn't watching it on 2x speed. Because Rush and Ratty Daddy were going balls out.
It was just, they were like, end of the year, let's just go for it. And they killed it, dude. That was a hell of a match. Like I said, I got about halfway through the show, so there's a couple matches left for me to watch, but that match like stole it for me.
Like Leo Rush is just built different. And I mean, Ratty Daddy keeping up with him the entire go. What a fantastic match. Like that's the kind of shit I just love to see.
We need more Leo Rush on the TV screen as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
I noticed that he cut his hair though too. He's going clean cut now.
I've enjoyed his work,
Which probably makes him go faster. More aerodynamic, gives him more speed. He's already one of the fastest guys out there.
Yeah.
Now he's just aerodynamicing this thing. Jeez.
Like
science.
His GCW work has been just tremendous. I've loved everything I've seen. Even when he did like the alter ego type stuff, I think it was against Jordan Oliver a few years ago. Even that was good. So
yeah, I can't help it, and it's been so long, so I should probably just get over it at this point. But I always go, I can't believe the WWE had Leo Rush and thought just mouthpiece, just Bobby Lashley's mouthpiece. That's all he can do, because like he is so talented in that ring. I love it.
His work, whether it's been GCW, his brief stint in AEW, what he was able to do in NXT, New Japan, like the guy he's built different.
He had a banger with Samurai del Sol last night, the former Kalisto on Roseland 7.
What else did you enjoy from last night?
Oh my gosh! What last night was that card was just all over. Sinner and Saint, we called it, and new Prestige World Tag Team Champions. That was awesome. That was so good. They beat C4. Sky Blue and Liza Hall was the next match. That absolutely ruled. Again, more LPW alums. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, Liza Hall, incredible wrestler.
And you know what I loved about that? Sky Blue stole the win with like a roll up.
Oh, nice.
So like she didn't just beat Liza Hall outright. She had to like surprise her, which I'm hopeful you can run that back sometime, because Liza Hall is no slouch. Leo Rush, like I just said, that match was fun. I actually really enjoyed the Roseland death match with Drexel and Amnesia.
Amira.
Amira.
Yeah.
Amira. I don't know why I thought there was an S in there.
That's okay.
But I don't know much about her, but I was very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
They said it's like her first year in wrestling.
Yeah, she's very new, but has had an incredible year so far.
So once I figure out how to pronounce her name properly and not butcher it, I put her in the rotation of people that I will watch out for in this new year.
Hell yeah.
Nick Wayne returned.
Mm-hmm.
He took the spot of Kevin Blackwood, who was ill and could not make Roseland 7.
Yeah.
So right after I posted the clip of us talking about that match, he was announced that he was out.
Yeah, so he was out of the Prestige show. He's out of DOA tonight. But if I'm not mistaken, replacing him in the DOA show is Liza Hall.
Oh, nice.
If I'm not mistaken, I'll double check that. But
so speedy recovery to Blackwood. Willow Nightingale and Sandra Moon was just a fun little wrestling match. Just fun. They spent like the first 2 minutes just having like a smile off. Bebe in the house saying he's having to work today, but it's slow, and thought he'd pop in and say, hey, Bebe, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming by, my friend. Mm-hmm. If you're in the chat, if you're listening, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends about us. We're good people. But no, it was just a fun little show last night. I'm probably forgetting some major stuff. But Alan Angels helped Sinner and Saint. I like that little. I don't know if that's been a thing that's been going on for a while, but Alan Angels with Sinner and Saint is kind of a lot of fun.
Yeah, so
people hate it because they're the heels, but I'm sitting here like that's such a fun group.
Yeah, people do not like Alan Angels,
No,
and then when you partner him up with Sinner and Saint, it's a ruthless combination.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun because they came out and tried to help Alan Angels win the Prestige World title, but Alex Shelley ultimately retained. So catching up on some wrestling news, Don or Ken, that's what we're doing. We're talking about some independent wrestling news. Today.
So at DOA Pro Wrestling,
yep,
out in I'll get the exact for you. It's at the North Portland Eagles Lodge tonight. Blackwood was supposed to face off against Drake Kwan for the Pure Championship. Since Blackwood can't make it, Liza Hall stepping into place, facing off with Drake Kwan. So that's tonight. And if I'm not mistaken, DOA is on IWTV.
Oh, cool.
Also, the home of LPW.
I was going to say, you also know who's going to be live exclusively on IWTV? Us. So please, by all means, sign up for IWTV. You have access to a bunch of great content and now love wrestling content.
And I mean, also on the card tonight, Timothy Thatcher, Sonico, Sandra Moon, Jaden, Amira's on there as well. So a lot of the Pacific Northwest best, you're going to see them at DOA. That'll be on tonight, IWTV. So check it out.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So now we got some stuff to talk about. We got MLW to talk about. We got GCW to talk about. Do you have a preference where we start?
No. We could start with. Why don't we start with the GCW and then we'll
GCW.
Since we promoted that we'll talk MLW. We'll make them wait. We'll make them sweat it out. We'll do some MLW.
Little tease. Or we'll do GCW. We'll do a little tidbit and then we'll do some MLW.
When is the GCW show? Is that this weekend?
It's on the 12th.
Ah, that's right.
Friday night, and this is the one Mustafa Ali is going to be there, and he's going to be making his GCW debut, if I'm not mistaken, against Gringo Loco. I'm working on making sure all the graphics fit the entire screen.
So that's all right, man.
It's tough.
We yes, I do the same thing. You think it fits, and then it doesn't fit, and then you're just like, then you can see our hands. You can see it. You see us doing our thing.
We're working on it. But Mustafa Ali and Gringo Loco, I am so hyped for Mustafa Ali's indie run. And to kick things off with a match.
This world freaking tour, man.
Yeah, kicking things off with Gringo Loco, like
you want to talk about 2 times speed. That's gonna be like a
fast. Some of these big matches, you want to give them 20, 25 minutes. You only need to give these guys 12 and just let them just go absolutely insane for 12 minutes. And you'll feel like you were there for an hour. Because after 12 minutes, they'll have felt like they wrestled for 40.
Yeah, because they're going to put so much stuff into it. Can we talk about, like, I don't remember, and I could be wrong, with the 90-day releases over the last few years. Has anybody really, like, done this like world tour announcement style that Ali has done? Because it just feels like, maybe I've been paying closer attention in the years past, but this just feels like he's hitting it different than, say, some of the others where, like, it's like, oh yeah, my 90 days is up, here's some dates I'm gonna do. Well, Ali's like, I'm doing everything.
The only name I could think that would come close to that is Matt Cardona.
Okay, yeah, that could be. Yeah, Cardona definitely. Because it's a good shout.
As soon as he started putting himself out there, it was everywhere. And I don't think it was on the same sort of grand scale with the video and everything. I can't remember. But I feel like he was, wrestling at a lot of different places, really putting himself out there and just trying to differentiate Matt Cardona from Zack Ryder.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ali is just like, he is every day. It feels like a new Ali show pops up, because he'll be at Warrior Wrestling on March 1st at the Revolution Brewing show against Trey Miguel. Talk about another crazy one where I'm like, maybe I should go to that. It's right. It's in Chicago. It's not too far.
Might as well make a little weekend out of it.
I could. Yeah.
PLUGGO?
Yeah,
There you
Mrs. Pluggo just asked me when I'm taking her on a date because I'm taking our daughter out today.
See, there you go.
We're gonna go see the Iron Claw.
Hey, I'm going to that today too.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you there. Well,
You never know.
if you're coming down to South Bend.
We are.
Oh, honey, get the couch ready. The Pachicos are coming by.
I cannot think of a better first opponent for Mustafa Ali in GCW than Gringo Loco.
No.
Because
Is this also the Andrade show?
yes.
Jesus Christ. I thought that was two separate shows.
No, that is the same show.
Oh, dude, talk about just a must watch.
Oh, it's going to be great. I mean, very excited for Mustafa and Gringo. I mean, Gringo is one of our faves. Mustafa, we love it. We'd love to see him out there doing, the video, the announcement, all of that. I can't wait for him to start working these shows. So that one is happening on Friday. Mustafa Ali and Gringo Loco. That was one of the big matches.
And that's in Chicago.
That's in Chicago.
That's also in Chicago. Shoot.
So, and like you mentioned, and the same issue with the, sizing, because GCW didn't want to make the same graphics for everyone. We've got Andrade versus Gresham dream match.
Banger alert. Yeah, what's up with that, GCW? Because I noticed that when I was putting this together, they had 3 different styles of graphic for this one show. They don't usually do that.
And with those first 2, like they were even bigger, like they were more vertical. I had to cut part of it.
Aye. That's going to be an awesome match. Jonathan Gresham and a GCW ring with Andrade.
Maybe that is because I know the announcement of Andrade being done with AEW, and everyone expected him to be on Raw on Monday night, but he still has some indie dates he's got to finish. So I don't know if that's not going to happen until after the GCW show or what, but that's how I'm kind of thinking now.
Because they would have pulled him by now, and you probably would have saw an announcement if he was signed officially. Maybe he is saying hey, maybe he's you know what? I know everybody thought he was going to show up. Maybe he's a Royal Rumble return. That would just, you finish up your GCW date. I actually have my little calendar right in front of me. I'm trying to be better about things. So yeah, GCW's 2 weeks away. Finish up and then do the Rumble. Hang out with Charlotte Flair for a couple weeks. Yeah, baby. I hope that's the goal. That is the goal, my friend. We want people to want to dive into these independent wrestling shows and dip their toe into those waters, because a lot of the wrestlers you see on the main show come from this independent scene. So I'm glad that we're getting you hyped up for that show, because we're hyped up for that show.
Yeah, I'm very jacked up for that show, and it's going to be at a reasonable time too, because Chicago. So
it's actually going to be an hour later for me then. Yeah. You're perfect. You're 8 o'clock. It'll be 9 o'clock my time, but that's fine. Yeah. I stayed up last night and watched the Prestige show that started at 10.
Because those Western Conference shows, or Western Coast,
the Western Conference,
those are rough sometimes.
Sometimes they could be a little rough. That's why I put the caveat out when I said I'm live tweeting it today. It's either till the show ends or till I fall asleep.
Yeah, because it's a big commitment sometimes.
I made it a little further than I thought I was going to, which was good. It was because it was fun. It was a good show. If you can keep my interest, I'm willing to lose a little bit of sleep for a good wrestling show.
So if 2 big matches weren't enough for you to tune into this, maybe the announcement of one big dude will, because making his appearance at Calvin Tankman making his return. Big Calvin Tankman fan. He's crushed it, whether it's work with MLW before, Deadlock Pro Wrestling. I mean, dude is a beast.
Yes, I do love me some Calvin Tankman. He's fantastic. He just lost his Black Label Pro championship last month. So I'm excited to see him at GCW. I don't know how much GCW, if he's been here before, if he's wrestled. If he has, I don't remember, and I'm sorry, but I'm excited to see who they give him, because they haven't announced this match yet.
Not yet.
If I'm guessing, it's going to be somebody he can throw 4 feet into the crowd.
Yes. Cole Radrick, come on down.
Marco Stunt.
Make
your return. Young Jay Lee.
Bebe mentioning he used to be obsessed with GCW, and you're hearing that quite a bit where people were like really into it for those first few years, and then I don't know what happened, whether it's an oversaturation of some of the independents with like just these like banger indie shows or what, but like there was a bit of a dip out, people kind of checked out, but hopefully now with some of these different matches, different wrestlers being brought in, we're going to see that sort of resurgence again with GCW.
If you remember, like when they did that at where's the show, or the World's End?
Was that
big,
the Hammerstein?
Yeah, the Hammerstein. It felt like that was like they had kind of like peaked, if you will, or this was like everybody was crazy. And they kind of dipped a little bit after that. And I think but I really think that they're hitting it out of the park lately. Like I think they've really figured out there's something on these shows for everyone.
Yes.
So like, just hey, you know, I think wrestling's like that. Sometimes you get all obsessed with, like whatever promotion you like, and then you kind of like, oh, it's become the same thing, and then it ebbs and flows sometimes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's normal. It happens with everything. So I'm just very jacked up to see Calvin Tankman chuck someone 3/4 of the ring.
Yeah. So if you're fans and you're sitting in the 5th row, you might catch a wrestler next week.
Maybe, yeah. It's a chance.
You might catch a guy. You never know.
So, hot off the heels of the Nick Gage Invitational, we are going to have the Ultraviolent Championship, Rita Yamashita and John Wayne Murdoch. So, like we said, a little bit of something for everyone. Get your deathmatch fill here. It's going to be great.
Now, they're doing this match there, so maybe that answers my question. I was going to ask if Chicago's okay with a lot of deathmatch wrestling.
Well,
because I know New York is not.
No.
And I know I thought some parts of Chicago weren't. Maybe they were. I don't know. But hey, that's going to be fun. That'll be violent, ultra violent, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, Rena's coming off those Tokyo Joshi Pro shows a few days ago. So yeah,
and Murdoch's coming off a loss in the Nick Gage Invitational. A lot of proving to do there.
He'll be looking to bounce back from that. So this will be a fun one. I mean,
do you think he takes it?
Oh, maybe.
She's had it for a long time. I don't know how many days, but she's been the Ultraviolet champ for a minute.
That would be the one reason why, just to change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I could see that. In the very much my jam department, Violence is Forever defending the GCW Tag Team Championships against Bang and Matthews.
Who?
Bang and Matthews.
Oh, I thought they were the Banger Bros. No.
No, we can't say that.
We can't say that. We redacted. You used to be able to say
the
that.
Redacted Bros.
The Redacted Bros. This match absolutely is going to rule, and if you are familiar with these two teams, they have faced off before. Mm-hmm. I was there live when they faced off at Black Label Pro for the Black Label Pro Tag Team Championships, and that match absolutely ruled. I can't imagine what they're going to do in Chicago for GCW, especially with that crowd. That Chicago crowd for GCW is always a rabid fun time. So I think that these two teams might try to steal the show.
Mm-hmm. I have no doubt in my mind that these two teams will come out, deliver an absolute banger of a match. Violence is Forever has had a very solid tag team championship run. All of their wins have been very convincing, and I'm excited for this match. Bang and Matthews are great to watch. So these two teams together, I think they're going to have some incredible chemistry, and I can't wait to see what they do in the ring.
Hells yeah.
And besides that, hold on, I think we got one more for the card. I'm just going to find it. Here we go. Maki Ito Bussy versus Deathmatch Royalty.
Yes.
Sorry, Maki Ito and Bussy. Or World's Cutest Bussy, if you don't.
I was going to say that. Good call.
Against Deathmatch Royalty. Broski Jimmy, Steph DeLander, and the one and only Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona, your Beardy Award winner for Independent Wrestler of the Year. Whether he skewed the vote or not, that is not for us to say.
Like, this match is going to be everything I imagine and more.
Yes, so much fun. So much fun. A lot of cute offs. I'm here for the Broski Jimmy Makito cute off.
Yeah.
Because that's very sports entertainery. So let's do that. You always get a good time with Effie and Matt Cardona in the same ring together, and Steph DeLander and Allie Hatchett all. And then there's a lot of heat actually here right now because of Matt Warner turning on Effie at the last time they were in LA.
Yeah.
Whatever show that the LA show, he turned on him. And then at the Christmas special, Effie pretty much called him out and called out Steph DeLander and said some things that we can't say on this program because we'll get demonetized. So if you want us to not get demonetized for saying it, leave us a super chat and then I will say it. Oh, Maki is now out with injury. So oops, she just announced it. Lawrence with the scoops. Scoops to my Lou, Lawrence. That I used to go by Scoops to my Lou when I would just come up with random shit. Remember Rafer Alston from the And One mixtapes? Skip to my Lou.
Yes, only because I watched the And One documentary.
Yep, skip to my Lou, scoops to my Lou. She just announced, so that's unfortunate. So hopefully they'll find a replacement. But there is a lot of stakes here, a lot of intrigue. Like there's history with Cardona and Effie. Now there's some beef with Steph DeLander and Effie. I'm excited. Broski Jimmy's going to go out there and do the bidding for Cardona. So, yeah, that'll be a good time. There'll be a lot of heat there.
Yeah, so she had made a post up on her social media, so you can check that out. Speedy recovery. Can't wait to see Magneto back in the ring. But, hey, you got to take time, got to take care of yourself. So you got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
You understand? So that was all we've seen announced for the GCW show so far. Hopefully there's more. But so like with what's been announced already, like that's a solid lineup for shows.
That's a good card. And GCW does a pretty good job. If somebody's out for injury, they'll overshoot the return. So Makito being out, unfortunate, but I'm sure Bussy will find somebody.
Yes. So whether we're seeing Thrussie or what it might be, just excited for it.
I don't know what that means, Lawrence.
Bebe's asking when the show is. It's going to be Friday, January 12th.
At 8 p.m. Central Time. So if you're on the East Coast, 9 o'clock. West Coast, figure that out, 6 o'clock.
So,
right?
Yes.
7 o'clock in the Midwest, or the Mountain Time. I don't know the rest. Time zones are funny.
So we got that. We got some tidbits. We can do a little titty bitties.
Also, look at that. Bang and Matthews is Lisa Ann's favorite tag team. I don't know what that means, Lawrence. What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Of course you don't.
No, I actually don't.
Oh.
No idea.
So I'm the only one that has a dirty mind in this. And Baby saying thank you. No. Is it because Mrs. Pacheco's there that you don't know?
No, I actually don't know. Okay. No idea what you're talking about.
Right.
No winking. I have no idea.
Sure. Either do I.
Oh, stop it.
Let's do some tidbits before we get into the Kings of Colosseum MLW show that is tonight.
That MLW show. I just don't, Lawrence is still going. I don't know.
Every week he's like, why do I do this show?
Okay. 90-day competes are coming up or are up. So you're seeing a lot more wrestlers being announced for shows. And if you wanted to walk to an independent show, you could walk with him because Elijah is making his Wrestling Revolver debut Saturday, February 17th at the Epic.
Nice.
Revolver, what a show. Walk with Elijah. Why not?
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm
interested.
Yes, that is a good way to put it. I'm
very interested in what he does.
How this is going to translate into his independent run, what he's going to do with it. So, hey, we'll see.
We'll see. What else you got?
Well, if you wanted a banger, this is a banger alert right here.
Uh-oh.
Rev Pro, February 18th, 2024. Michael Oku against Will Ospreay. How can you not enjoy this? Oku had an incredible run at PWG's Bola last year. Kept it on a high streak. He's going to be defending the British Heavyweight Championship against one of my favorites, Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. You know You know, Lisa Ann, the financier.
I still don't know what that means.
Google it.
I'm doing a show right now.
Or don't Google it right now. Yeah, we're doing a show. Be professional. Jesus, Blair. God.
There you go.
Hey, he's back again. Matt Cardona. Even though I saw him tweet something about having to do the show in Iowa, he's not a huge fan of Iowa, but he's going to be there either way because he's a professional, and when money is given, he takes it.
How far away is Iowa from where you are?
That would probably be. I'm not 100% where is that? Clive? Is that a C? Clive, Iowa, or
yeah, Clive.
I know the Quad Cities, so just going into Iowa is about 4.5.
Okay.
So depending on how deep into Iowa that goes, it depends. But you do get the hour back on the way there for the time change. So
low key, the only reason I'm keeping this graphic up long enough is so I can Google Lisa Ann, the financer. Oh, there's Lisa Matthews. Okay.
She's not a financer.
Nope.
Lawrence.
Like, what do you guys talk? Oh. As soon as I put Lisa Matthews, bang, then it's videos popping up. I'm like,
I don't know about you, but I love this show.
Black Label Pro, February 24th. Joey Janela versus Levi Everett in defense of the game. Are you going to hit this one up?
Oh, I'm thinking about it. I got to decide. I got to make sure everything's square. That is the daughter's birthday weekend, so might be tough.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Okay. So there's potential.
Maybe I give her a gift of Black Label Pro Wrestling as her birthday present. I don't know if she would like that, but we'll see.
I really should have paid more attention to the graphics order. But that Wrestling Revolver show, that wasn't the only thing announced for it, because we also got this bad boy.
Yeah.
Rascals versus Los Desperados, Arez and Gringo Loco.
Ooh.
That's going to be banger alert.
Banger. Woo, woo, woo.
Arez is great. So
I'm still laughing over the Lisa Ann stuff.
Oh,
yeah, I can't believe you actually Googled it.
I had to. I wanted to know the joke.
He's a curious party.
Yes.
Oh, Lord's got us again. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this Wrestling Revolver show on the 17th is it's shaping up to be a big show.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be a fun one.
And they still have more to announce from that. We talked about Speedball is going to be there last week. We talked about Speedball is going to be there, and there was somebody else, right? I can't remember off the top of my head, but
my phone right now is just match graphics in the photos. That's like all I have. It's like 3 dog pictures and then match graphics.
Dog pictures and match graphics.
Yeah. So
yeah.
We talked about Mustafa Ali a little bit earlier. Well, he is going to be at C4 January 19th. So that's 2 weeks away. C4 puts their stuff up on IWTV. So once again, check it out. Also the home of LPW. So it's a win-win situation. But Mustafa Ali versus Vaughn Vertigo. Vaughn's going to be facing off with Mustafa Ali. The next week, he's going to be in Winnipeg on the 25th.
It's going to be on the 25th because he's going to be at LPW 22 on the 26th, yes. Bro.
So he's going to be in Winnipeg the 25th, LPW in Edmonton the 26th, facing off the winner of MRB versus Michael Allen Richard Clark for the LPW championship.
Yep, he gets the winner, and that'll be a good time. And Vaughn is making his much anticipated return to LPW, but this is a great way to start that week off, man.
100%.
Woo! If you don't know the name Vaughn Vertigo, you'll know it by the end of that week.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like, very much excited for this one. So that,
and I have a very high expectation that he will end up in your rotation of wrestlers to watch. Speaking of people, Mrs. Pluggo, hi, honey. We weren't talking about things that we shouldn't have been talking about on this program.
Do we want to mention this to Mrs. Pluggo?
I'm sure she already knows I'm a bum. It's okay. She'll be like, it makes sense for her. No, Mrs. Pluggo is the love of my life, apple of my eye, the only woman I look at.
Okay, we got a few more for you. in a few weeks' time, January 25th, Wrestling Revolver at Mox versus Gringo. We're going to see Masha Slamovich versus Jake something for the first time ever. So that should be a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now for when you were popping up these graphics, I kept going, that's not Mox and that's not Gringo. I didn't realize at first that that's what they named the show. They just hit you over the head with it, because I know that this show, Mox, has been announced a couple of times and it just hasn't happened, and now it's finally happened, so they just named it that.
Yeah, so it's the name has thrown me off a few times as well. So,
but that's going to be a hard hitting affair.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. And GCW announced the collective announced their lineup. We got the graphic for that bad boy right there.
Woo!
That's a lot to take in, and we are going to do our damnedest to cover as much of it as we can.
And that's just the collective. That's not to mention anybody else that wants to run that weekend. You got Defy, you got Bloodsport, you got DDT Pro, Jersey Championship Wrestling, Toki Josie Pro Wrestling, Progress Wrestling, Joey Janela's Spring Break 8, which is always fun. For the Culture, again, that's always a fun time as well. Effie's Big Gay Brunch 9 will be at 11 a.m. And then there's a blurred out one. I don't know what that is. And then the Joey Janela Spring Break Cluster.
I know what it is.
What is it?
GCW versus Tokyo Joshi Pro.
How do you know that? Is that
because they announced it yesterday?
Okay. Because I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
Yeah, yesterday night they announced it, so the graphics were already up, and we didn't have a new one.
Yes, honey, my eyes are only for you. That's what that means. Don't look at Blair's Google history. That's all.
My brother in Christ. What are you talking about?
You're the listen. I'm the sinner. You're the saint.
And one more announcement for those out in the West Coast in Vancouver area. This will be a lot of fun. So Boom Pro Wrestling runs out in Vancouver. They are doing something a lot of fun. It is a show on I can't remember. It's the next Saturday. And I have the little write-up about it right here. I'm just trying to log into my phone.
Wrestling allowed?
There's going to be no wrestling on the show. It is going to be more of a variety show in the same vein as the Tuesday Night Titans. So it's going to be a comedy variety talk show. And they're going to show some fun matches, discuss upcoming matches. You can go to the Riot Theater website, and they have all the ticket information there, but it's going to be a lot of fun, so check it out.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that going to be shown somewhere where I can watch it live?
I don't think it is, but I still wanted to get that out there because Boom has done some very fun things in the past year. I mean, they had Abe Lincoln wrestling there, so that's a huge props to be able to book him.
Heck yeah.
So their stuff is up on YouTube. Go check out Boom Pro, based out in Vancouver. They're doing a lot of fun stuff out there. Check it out.
Yeah. There's something for everyone on this lovely independent wrestling scene, and I think 2024 is going to be a big year for independent wrestling.
I think so too. So that is the tidbits, the tidbitties,
tiddo-bitties.
Yes, I was going to say something, and I have to correct myself. So tonight, tonight MLW is stepping up to the plate. There is Kings of Colosseum.
Yep, Kings of Colosseum, headlined by Alex Kane versus Richard Holiday for the MLW Heavyweight Championship. Now, I know our friend Alex Kane has been a bit under the weather this week. He showed up. It's becoming a trend in the independent wrestling scene to show off the thermometer with your fever temperature, because Blackwood did it. He did it. But he'll get right by this show. It's going to be good. Good times.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Richard Holiday has aligned himself with the World Titan Federation faction based out of MLW.
St. Laurent.
Yeah, St. Laurent. Filthy Tom Lawler is a part of it, I think. A whole bunch of others. So this is, Holiday... He came back from his time off, and he's looking to make his name again in MLW. I mean, to be able to topple the champ right now would be a huge, huge kudos to him. But I mean, Alex Kane is not going to be a pushover, even if he's a little bit under the weather. Like, it's going to take a lot to become the new champ.
Boomaye. This is tough for me. I like both of these guys a lot, but of course I'm riding with Alex Kane every day of the week. So, and plus, like Saint Laurent, man, you'd think a guy like me, a bigger guy with a beard, would like resonate with that guy, but he's so slimy.
Yeah, it doesn't always work that way.
It doesn't work that way. I don't like him.
No.
But I'm interested. This whole power struggle within MLW between MLW and the World Titan Federation it's been fun. It's been interesting. So I like to always see who's going to align where. But you know, Alex Kane's going to show out.
Are we going to make picks for this MLW show?
We can. If you want to send them my way later, we'll put them up on the socials.
Let's do it up. I mean, I'm hyped for this show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The MLW shows, they usually clock in just over 2 hours.
Yeah, they're usually fast-paced.
For me, that is like perfect. It's the same style as like the takeover shows. You get some banger matches. 2.5 hours later, you can log out and you're set, you know? So like,
yeah, they're no dragging.
No, the 4-hour shows are tough for this old dog over here.
I agree.
So that's your main event. Also on the show, I mean, Matt Riddle making his MLW debut, facing off against Jacob Fatu,
who I didn't even talk about it, but we'll talk about this match, and then I'll bring up the Nick Gage Invitational. But this is Matt Riddle's first appearance outside of the 90 days to WWE, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen him show up anywhere else.
Yeah,
he was a big part of MLW back in the day, and Fatu has been a mainstay in MLW for the past few years. So this is going to be hard hitting. There's Matt Riddle, for everything you could say about him, you know, whether you like him or not, he hits hard in the ring. And Fatu, everybody knows, hits with just probably the hardest hitting guy in MLW. So this will be fun.
Since
slugfest,
since MLW first showed up on my radar as like, you know, checking it out on a weekly basis, I mean, Fatu has been either the champ or at the top of the card for the past, we're going on almost 4 years. So that is a massive run when you think about it, because usually there's a lot of ebbs and flows with it where, like, yeah, you'll have that run, you might drop down for a bit, for a few months, whatever it might be, but like he's been at the top or near the top consistently. So this is going to be a massive match for Matt Riddle to re-debut in MLW, but like this should be a very, very hard hitting match. Like I'm expecting these two guys to go all out with this matchup.
Okay, because I did forget, because it's been such a week. Fatu wrestled in the Nick Gage Invitational in the first triple threat match of the tournament, and it was his first death match, and he absolutely stole it. He didn't win. He should have won. He absolutely killed it. Like, I was so impressed. Mm-hmm. So, more Fatu in deathmatch wrestling, more Fatu everywhere, because, my God, he stole the show last weekend. But somebody stole his pit.
Also on the show, we have a Taipei death match for the National Openweight title. So in the same vein that GCW has something for everyone, MLW really does as well, because if you need your fix of blood, then here you go, Taipei death match.
They've kind of turned this national openweight title into like this little like death match scene with Ricky Shane Page and Akira. This has been going on for a little bit. It's like you said, it's something different for everybody. More death match wrestling in 2024 seems to be the way to go. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. I don't know what a Taipei death match is, opposed to just a different. Well, that's just a fancy name.
It is not a fancy name.
It's not.
I have what a Taipei death match is.
Oh.
So the wrestlers' hands are taped up. They're dipped in glue and then stuck in a bucket of broken glass.
All right. Because didn't they just do something with like a coffin full of nails or something a couple weeks ago or last month? So you tape up your hands, and then
yeah.
So somebody's going to bleed. That's what you're saying.
With Ricky Shane Page and Akira, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Sweet.
So, look,
not for the faint of heart.
It is not, but I mean, I have no doubt that these two are. very much professionals, and they know what they're doing. So it's
Yeah,
don't try it at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Taipei deathmatch. All right. We've got Wasted Youth and Alec Price facing off against Tony Deppen, TJ Crawford, and Griffin McCoy. And truth be told, TJ Crawford and Griffin McCoy, like I've seen glimpses of, but I'm not too familiar with them. So this is a match I'm really keen on just to see what they can bring to this spotlight.
Yeah, this is just a match where you put 6 people together and just have some fun. Like it's going to be a good match. This could be the opener of the night show, and just sort of that Wasted Youth and Alec Price. You know how we feel about them. I saw TJ Crawford at Black Label Pro, very impressive. Yeah. But that was the only time I've seen him. So again, like you said, I don't know too much about him, but he was very impressive. And of course, Tony Deppen rules.
Was that the opening match from that last Black Label Pro show?
I don't think they opened. It was Crawford. Oh, well, yeah, it was Crawford and Dax Royal.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That was a very fun match.
So maybe it did open the show.
Because I remember thinking...
It opened the show because Trevor Outlaw was the second. And yeah, okay, I remember now. Yeah.
I remember that match because I was thinking to myself how difficult it is for not only to be the opener of a show, like an independent show, but be the opener at a middle of the day independent show.
Yes.
Because I mean, it's a different vibe for an afternoon show. So you have to work that little bit harder. And I thought Dax Royal and TJ Crawford, like they came out guns blazing, and I thought they did an incredible job getting everyone into the show. You know, like I said, it's tough at 2 p.m.
Our third correspondent, Boris, is in the house saying, "Gentlemen, Boris, how are you? We're going to be working a lot with Boris over the next couple weeks."
Yeah, because we got some LPW stuff to preview.
We got all sorts of stuff to do. And the collective, which Boris is a huge fan of. Mm-hmm. So we might just have to put Boris on the program every week for the next, year.
Yeah, it's possible.
There's so much to talk about in just this month alone.
We got one more MLW match to talk about. They are taping more for the weekly shows as well. So there was other matches announced. We've talked.
Are you sure there's only one? I think there's 2.
Is there 2?
There's 2.
Because I think I only thought I saw one more graphic that we got to throw up there.
Are you sure? Because I know that it might have got slipped down to the bottom. Because I know that there's the Second Gear Crew Wrestling and Janai Kai has a match.
Yes, you're right.
So there's 2 more. Wow, look at me.
Yeah, except we only have the graphic for... Oh, there it is.
I was going to say it might have got stuck at the bottom because there was a lot of graphics today, and I usually roll them up to the top. But anyway, Second Gear Crew versus your best friend Tom Lawler and Josh Bishop, the World Titan Federation. Ay.
But I mean, this should be a lot of fun. I like Tom Lawler in the WTF. I like Tom Lawler.
It doesn't make sense based on what Saint Laurent is doing, but it works beautifully.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is one like, hey, I'll check it out. I'm sure I will have a lot of fun with it because I like everyone involved. So why not?
Hell yeah! And then the Second Gear Crew is tag team champions. That's Matthew Justice and the one called Manders.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if we get a title change here because, WTF, they need some championships if they're going to be taken serious.
That's the thing. Like, they have potential to take over MLW right now with Richard Holiday facing off against MLW champ Alex Kane, Lawler and Bishop against Second Gear Crew for the tag championship. So this will be a very intriguing night for WTF.
Because the last pay-per-view that they had, you could make the argument that, okay, they're just kind of starting out, they're figuring it out. But now we're a couple months into this thing, and you got to start producing results if you're WTF.
Yep. So, and then last but not least, Janai Kai versus Hyper Masao for the World Featherweight title. Janai Kai's aligned herself with Selena De La Renta. Hyper Masao coming from Tokyo Joshi Pro. So, I'm excited for this match. I'm not too familiar with Hyper, but anyone new being brought in, obviously they know they can work. So, curious to see just exactly what she can do.
So, yes, that match is going to be a lot of fun. I'm a huge Janai Kai fan, so let's see how that match plays out. That'll be a quick, fast-paced matchup that's just going to be hard hitting as well. Boris saying he's a very important man, and then yelling at me about my hoodie.
No kidding.
Is that a Montreal Canadiens hoodie? Yes, it is.
I got heat with you now for that.
Really? JPJ said I wasn't allowed to wear it on Thursdays because he's a Bruins fan.
Yeah, I'm a Leafs fan, so you can't wear it Saturdays either.
I'll know that from future. I guess I need to do some laundry because this is like a $6 hoodie. It kind of got tore up right here.
I thought that was just the style. Like maybe
no, it like perfectly ripped like right here. So now it looks like the style. But are we not Montreal Canadian fans? We're not fans. I mean, Lawrence is a Montreal. Lawrence is, and he is our Between Two Beards fantasy football champion. So at least I made one guy happy today.
Yeah. There's only one Red Sea that matters, and that ain't it. I'd say there's no Red Seas that matter.
Listen, in hockey, I am wide open to suggestions on who to wear, what to root for. So if people want to send me hockey gear, I'll wear it.
Okay.
And Ophelia's in the house, and she's saying "Go Habs, go!" So boom,
Ophelia. Oh, oh.
She saw it right there. Go Habs, go! Go Habs, go!
So before we go, we should mention LPW news from the past week.
By the way, really quick, Ophelia's in the chat. I don't know how long she'll be here, if she's busy or not. But I sent Mrs. Pluggo the screenshot of JPJ's stream the other day where she said, "Oh my God, that's Pluggo? Is that Mrs. Pluggo's husband?" Popped Mrs. Pluggo very hard. She thought that was hilarious because, she's becoming more famous than I am. Lauren saying, "Don't listen to them. Go Habs. Go Osti 24 effing cups." We're trying not to get demonetized again, unless you guys want to put money in the swear jar by sending super chats.
So before we wrap things up, LPW 22, we found out not too long ago that Billy Starks will not be able to be there, but talk about an incredible replacement for Billy Starks. Vert Vixen is going to be there. Huge fan of Vert Vixen.
Huge fan of her.
Incredible wrestler. So that'll be massive. And just announced this past week, Eli Surge is going to be at LPW 22.
Yeah. And then as announced Thursday night exclusively, we've got a triple threat at the Oil Rumble. It's going to be T.Y. Jackson. It's going to be Son of Irish. And it's going to be The Thickness, Reed Matthews. That's just going to rule. I should have pulled the... Yeah, you like that?
The Thickness.
The Thickness, Reed Matthews. Because it's The Thickness, Reed Matthews. It's not Reed The Thickness Matthews.
The Thickness, Reed Matthews.
The Thickness. But yeah, that was just announced. LPW is shaping up to have a big year. We're going to dive super deep into those cards coming up soon. There might be some more cool LPW news coming down the pipe soon. I might already have said too much. Boris with the scoops or the teases or whatever you want to call it. I bet you if you gave him a certain amount of money, he would spill those beans.
Yeah, at the very least, maybe he'll come into our video chat later when we're all there and be like, "Hey,
or
guys,
hit us up in the DMs." But
my dude,
we did it. Look at
this was a very fun week.
You know what I gotta say? The graphics that we've started doing, I hope the fans like them because I think it's cool to put faces and names and everything to help you out. But it also keeps us going boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and I think we knock out a lot more.
I think so, and I think it keeps us on the ball a little bit.
It keeps me on the ball a little bit.
So we're gonna wrap things up. But for myself, I mean, first off, thank you for joining us. I appreciate everyone who tunes in, whether it's on the replay, watching live, anything. I mean, we both appreciate your support. So thank you very much from both of us doing For Exposure, from the entire Love Wrestling team. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because this is going to be our first official full year if we make it that long, because we started mid-year last year.
We did.
So we got a lot to talk about this year.
So you can find me here doing For Exposure with you every weekend. Yep. And we let you know if it's going to be a different day or time or whatever, just because, schedules happen.
And where do we let them know that? On the social medias.
On the social medias. So at For Exposure.
At For Exposure Pod.
At For Exposure.
At For Exposure was taken, so I added pod as in like podcast show.
You can tell.
I guess we could change it to For Exposure. We could call it For Exposure Show.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'll let you worry about that. So
Yeah, we'll worry about it.
find us on For Exposure. You can find myself at Grainmaker Pod up on all social media. So definitely check that out. Dropped a podcast with Zandra Lee, a great wrestler out of Ontario who's doing some fun stuff. Next week, dropping a pod with Cavron Canyon. Dude is incredible. So you won't want to miss this one. My friend, where can the viewers, listeners find yourself?
Well, you can find me at PLUGGO_ on Twitter, at PLUGGO Loves Wrestling on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky, Threads. There's so many. But that's where you can find my personal page. Like he said, you can find me here with him every week, with Blair every weekend for For Exposure Pod. Then you can find me Thursday nights, 8 p.m. with JPJ for Between Two Beers. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. JPJ is going to be out of town, so we'll have to find ourselves a fun little guest. But we also have some new. I got some news, but I'm going to let Zach spoil that news. But that's it. That's where you can find me.
Is it Lisa Ann?
It's not Lisa Ann. Although if Lisa Ann would like to come on the For Exposure Pod and talk about Bang & Matthews, the wrestling tag team extraordinaires, I'm all for that.
All right. Well, thank you.
The invitation is yours.
Thank you very much for joining us here on For Exposure. Like I said before, we appreciate everyone at Love Wrestling appreciates your support. So thank you very much for checking us out. You have been consensually exposed here on For Exposure. Peace in the streets.